Hello, everybody, and welcome to Honey Badger Radio. My name is Brian. I was here with Allison, and this is a fundraising stream, but she seems to have gone kaput. But I am going to wait here until she returns now that we're live. Yeah, hi, guys. Welcome to the show. So I'm going to display what we're going to be responding to today. We're going to be looking at a couple of videos. Yes, what happened?
Okay, we just had a sudden crash. It'll be up in a second. Really sorry.
Yeah.
It went in and out of sleep mode and then just decided to implode. So we had everything set up and then I just moved the wrong way and it collapsed. So House of Cards time. Sorry, guys. Are we live?
Yay for last minute changes. Yes, we are.
Well, it wasn't that last minute. We've been working on it for like an hour and a half. Yeah, it's not going to be any less last minute than that. Unless you want to work on it the day before for a couple hours. But
well, I mean,
yeah.
I don't know anything about this new thing that you're trying to do. I learned about it about an hour ago.
Yeah, but it's not really that that complicated. It's just basically the same thing that we're doing before. Of course, we're changing the layout a bit, which is a little more complicated, but that wasn't what failed. It was essentially just an issue with the headset, which would have happened with Beat Saber or this. All right, I'll be right back.
All right. D503, yes, I was going to mention that. Dia de Padres, Gabriel.
All right, here we go.
All right, so hello everybody, welcome to Honey Badger Radio. My name is Brian. I'm here with Allison, and this is Maintaining Frame meets, what is this, synthwave something?
Synthwave, yeah. So synth riders with a Z. Synth riders.
Oh, synth riders.
It's sort of like a synthwave type thing. Yeah, it's similar to Beat Saber but with rhythm. I'll show you what it looks like in just a moment. I'm not going to take requests today, so this is just going to be like the background to us talking. I'm just going to keep it to the standard song, so hopefully we won't get killed by copyright. I have to learn this new system before I can really do custom songs. How's the volume?
I think it sounds okay. I don't know what you guys think. Are we fighting too much with the music of the game, or
yeah, just give us an indication.
Okay? Yeah. So I'm just waiting for the chat to get caught up with what's going on here.
In that case, so this is basically a rhythm game. It's sort of like Beat Saber, but not. I figured we fix it up or mix it up a bit. There are custom levels, just not as many as Beat Saber.
Tree Surgeon says turn it down a bit. Like, still a little bit too loud for them. Because like how it sounds to me and like how it sounds to you guys, different. So.
Can you turn it down on your system end?
Yes, I can.
Because I think that it's about as far down as we can on this end.
All right, turn it down in Discord. I was worried that it might turn you down at the same time. It's like, so how's that?
Maybe. Tender. Yeah, I will double check the sound on my end once I'm done here.
Well, we'll see what they say. I think it sounds fine now for me.
So this isn't actually originals 80s movies. It's just music inspired by the 80s.
Yeah, definitely has like a 80s sound. They say it sounds good now.
Okay, good.
So, yeah, we can just leave it.
Yeah, let's not let's not touch too many of the moving parts.
Let's not tempt fate.
Yeah. Anyway, so
all
guys,
right.
you tell me what you guys think of this particular rhythm song, and maybe I'll do
Rhythm
some
game?
custom. Yeah, rhythm game. And I'll do some custom levels on it if that's. It's similar to Beat Saber. It's a little bit more physically intensive.
Really?
Yeah, because there's a lot more like hip movements. It engages the pelvis more, shall we say.
Oh, okay. Sure.
Yeah. All right, so today we are doing a request by Richard Beer. So another one. And he wants us to... Actually, I think that this was on easy. Okay, I'll double check the sound to make sure everything's good.
Well, I already lowered your volume on my end, and it sounds fine now, so...
So he wants us to discuss a video in which... I believe he's a feminist. Discusses how...
It's called Conservative Men Don't Understand Why Women Won't Date Them.
Yeah, so he's basically explaining to all of us why conservative men fail with the ladies, shall we say.
Yeah.
And so we thought we'd discuss that, see if his premise is well supported. You want to get started, or?
Yeah.
Let's just get started. And we'll go until he repeats himself, so pay attention to whenever he starts to just go over material that he's already gone over.
All right, I'm gonna play the video now. If you're watching this on Shorts, you should be able to see the game and the video at the same time, at the same size. But if you're watching horizontally, you're gonna miss, some parts of the video. So, all right. Well, anyway, let's get into this. I don't know this guy's name. I don't really care.
So it's fair to say conservative men have not been hiding their basic hatred of women, especially on platforms like Twitter. Now you guys know.
So I guess it's fair to say. So he said so. That must make it true. Awesome. He also has defined what conservative is. Awesome. Okay. I guess we're just gonna have to just take his word for it. He obviously is the one good man. He knows. Well, he's not gonna tell us, Allison. This is the way these people work. We'll see. We'll see. But
conservative basically is every man that isn't him, probably.
Yeah, every man that isn't him. Exactly. Any man who hasn't. No, not even that. If I'm being really charitable, it's probably going to be any man who has standards. That's it, right? Because he's just it's fair to say, is it? I think we're starting off on the wrong foot right off the bat. Is it fair? Is it though?
Well,
let's go back a little bit. I want to hear this again. No,
is he going to define conservatives?
Let's find out. Let's find out. But I have a feeling. This guy. I don't know. Let's see.
Well, it's fair to say conservative men have not been hiding their basic hatred of women, especially on platforms like Twitter. Now you guys know I've really tried to reduce my usage on Twitter, and I've deleted it off my phone. I'd say I've reduced my usage by about maybe over 95%. Sometimes I do go on it though, because I just want to, grasp what the conversation is. And something that was going around recently on Twitter, which I think highlights a lot of things I spoke about on this channel, was there are a couple TikToks of women complaining that they basically couldn't find a man who
what a surprise.
Suited their
women complaining.
Yeah, so there are women online complaining, and conservative men are the problem. Already, I see where you see what I mean. This is so predictable.
The women complaining is okay.
Yeah. All she wants, a Wilder, who, this posting this tweet says, it's got a picture of this woman in her car making a video about how she can't find a man that's going to basically give her everything she wants. Because I've seen this video, and she's ultra entitled, and she wants it all, and she doesn't understand why there aren't men lining up to give her everything. And there's this guy that's all she wants is to find her man, and she's sick and tired of waiting. Yeah,
And
I wonder why the climate is as it is, lady. Why is the
Women
climate the way
complain
it
about that.
is?
How can we blame conservatives?
Yeah, let's blame conservatives.
I'm not even a
no, you know what it
conservative.
is. I know you're not. I know. But I know what it is that there are going to be some men that are going to say, well, tough luck. Like people like me. And he is saying, oh, any man who thinks that these women, you know, have some, I don't know, some soul searching to do, that their standards are high, that they're coming across as entitled, those are conservative men to him. This is what I mean, okay? But anyway, let's play some more.
And the comments weren't sympathetic. It seems like a thing conservative male Twitter likes to do. They just laugh at women's misery when it comes to this stuff. And in that, it reveals a lot. But also, there were...
Yeah, see, conservative male Twitter is men laughing at women who are posting their L's online. Women posting their L's and the men who react to them, that's conservative men on Twitter. Can we just stop? Can we just stop even confronting or dealing with the word conservative at this point? Can we just accept that it's useless? No. I don't mean this guy, because this is what these people do. These people do that. They use conservative as a pejorative. They do it so frequently that people feel the need to defend themselves, and it puts them in a box that they're not supposed to be in because they're fighting a battle they're not meant to win. So it's time to just ignore that, ignore it, point out, understand that when they say conservative, they're just saying like chud, incel, you know, MRA. It's the same shit. They're just saying that. I've been trying to get people to I've been trying to get people to understand this since fucking Kevin Logan. They don't say it because they're trying to define a term. They're saying it because they're trying to put you in a box.
And
if you have
it.
standards, it makes you conservative. That's what they're saying. Because conservative equals bad.
And then they're going to put you in a bigger box. And then they're going to mail the box to themselves and hit it with a hammer.
Yes, hit it with a hammer. Someone named Zach Longdick is absolutely throwing a fit in the chat saying turn off the music. Just one person though, so I don't know. All right. So let's play some more. But I'm just saying, let's stop responding to what the allegations are, because they're not logical.
But people replying saying, well, this woman would never date me, someone who has a lot to offer her, like financially. Like I'm a veteran, I'm retired, I have a pension and stuff. All that stuff makes me good. Or like I'm 6'3", that makes me like worthy. And all the replies talking about this makes it clear that men specifically still don't understand what makes someone attractive in a relationship.
How did we go?
Especially
How did we go
because
from conservative to men? Just like
yeah, because Allison, that's what this is. That's what I'm saying. Like, look, I don't know. This guy probably doesn't know how stupid he is, but I'm gonna back up a little bit. I'm just gonna explain, okay? Men have already been put in a black category. Black category is a Maoist thing. There were the black categories that when you invoke a certain like demographic of people, like men, people are supposed to have a visceral, emotional, negative reaction to that black category. So some black categories are men, white people, Christians, conservatives, Republicans, right-wingers, libertarians. All of those are black categories according to these people. So if they just say men, they're also saying conservative men, white conservative men, white cisgender heterosexual conservative men. It is just that. It's just, I said you're a thing and you're supposed to feel some kind of way. And if you don't feel a certain kind of way, I'm going to make sure that my audience has a visceral, emotional reaction to what I have said. That's why he can just say conservative men are this, and then later on, like not even a minute later, say men, because it's the same thing. It's the same thing. So forget the adjectives. They're useless. Okay, just forget them. These people don't use them in good faith. They are being dishonest. I'm sure this guy is not a hit with the ladies either, but he's trying to be the good man, the one good man, which is what this whole thing is probably going to be, just so he gains favor with women. I hope she sees this, bro.
I don't get it. Like, the woman did indeed say what she wanted. She wanted financial security. These guys are like, yeah, I could offer that to you. And he's like, no, that's not what the woman wants. Well,
yeah, they don't want what they say they want. I know what women want.
Yeah, that's a little bit grapey there, my friend.
A little bit, maybe.
You know what? I'll turn the music off completely, and you can just watch me flail.
All right. Are you gonna do this without music?
Yeah, since
It's only one. No, it's just one spurg, Allison. It's just one spurg. You can ignore the one spurg, right? Because it's just one. Like, it's just one. I mean, if we had to respond to every spurgy comment, Allison, we wouldn't have content. We wouldn't have content at all, because somebody would be like, too many colors, and somebody would be like, I hate this vaporwave theme, and somebody else would be like, what's with the cartoon avatars? And somebody would be like, what, the volume is wrong on this person, that guy's too loud. Can we just stop it? Can we just stop trying to appease everybody? You just can't. You just can't. So look, you can stay or you can go. And that's all. I hope you stay, because you might get something of value. Because maybe the actual topic of discussion is more important than where our sound levels are at, or whether or not we're using the latest fucking microphone, or how fast our internet is, or how many frames this is running at, or whatever the fucking music is. Okay? And I'm not spurging out. I'm just expressing a little bit of frustration. Happy Father's Day, by the way.
Oh God! Did you see
which is what today is?
The Guardian put out?
No, but I'm sure that they put out some kind of clickbait bullshit.
Oh yeah, they did. Essentially, that was one of those articles where they talk about their kid saying something. You know?
Mm-hmm.
Little Susie talked about the need for some, geopolitical position, and she's only 3. Little Susie talked about how she's being killed by people's use of hydrocarbons, and she's only 9 months old.
Oh, is that like the woke children of like 2016, 2017?
Yes,
They're back. They're back.
Yeah, the woke children, except this one was
3-year-olds.
Was a little boy.
My daughter came to me and said,
yeah, this is a little boy asking his mother why he had to celebrate the inferior parent on Father's Day.
Oh my God.
I've done a statistical analysis, Mommy, and my dad gives me 95% less tendies.
I couldn't answer my child. I wept. I sobbed.
I'm so
Isn't that how they
sorry.
go? She said, my
my
little girl came to me and said, Mommy, are we going to live in the Handmaid's Tale? I couldn't tell her no. Yes, I wept. I sobbed. I remember those. Those were the days. Those were the days.
Don't forget that men hate you utterly, and they've constructed a society to oppress you. Oh, that has to be child abuse. Nobody believes it, though. Yeah, that Happy Father's Day, everyone. Yeah. Happy Inferior Parent Day.
Happy Father's Day, seriously, though. Dads out there. You guys, you're all we got. Really, you're all we got at this point.
You are the thin red line between the human race.
You are the last bastion. So.
Oh goodness! All right.
Thank you, D503 says the audio is okay. By the way, Teal Deer is in the chat. Says the greatest spurg you must defeat is the spurg in your mind. Sun Tzu.
Yeah.
I have not only defeated him, I have speed ran him. But okay, so I wanted to share the tweet that this guy is talking about. So this guy named BK Actual, Bravo Kilo Actual, who tweeted, says, my app experience, I'm assuming he means Tinder. I'm 6'2", 205 pounds, all my hair, all my teeth, fit, decently okay looking, retired veteran, full benefits, my own place at the beach, my own business. In 3 years on dating apps, I matched with tons of chicks. Maybe 3 of them were willing to meet in person, and it never went anywhere. So, that's kind of the standard right now, right? Like, you can be this guy and still be striking out with women, and of course, it's still his fault, according to the creator of this video.
What we have, the only commentators we have, are men like this who are watching like the incel blob grow, because that's what that means. This is the growth of the incel blob. Now it's not just, autistics who are introverted and maybe a little bit more emotional and neurotic. Now it's veterans with their own businesses who are 6'2" and probably could kill a man with their frickin' thighs.
Yeah.
Nope, they are incels now. It's
yep, like Sparrow's egg.
Yeah.
All right, let's play the rest of more of this video.
Like, I'm 6'3", that makes me, like, worthy. And all the replies talking about this makes it clear that men, specifically, still don't understand what makes someone attractive in a relationship.
It wasn't what that woman was asking for.
Like it's all like a financial proposition.
Yeah, but though literally the women are actually saying this is what I want, and they're putting it in their profiles, and men are like, hey, I qualify on all of those, all of that criteria. I meet that criteria. Why am I still unsuccessful? And he's like, you shouldn't have the right to, you don't understand women. I am the pussy whisperer. I know exactly what's going on. And even though they're telling you what they want, that's not what they want, and you're wrong for listening to them.
Well, maybe he's saying that because this woman has said what she wants, and this guy obviously meets what she wants.
Yeah.
And yet is still striking out. That he's going to tell us all what this woman is actually saying she wants.
Somehow I don't think this guy is 6 foot. Sorry, but he
does he have a girlfriend?
I don't know. He's got a lot of posters on his wall. Some, I don't know, silver YouTube thing, because of course, these are the guys that get over 100,000 subs. But anyway, let's listen to more.
And as you're going to see in some of these replies, they're talking about these women being lonely because feminism has basically tricked them.
Yes, it has. It's lied to them.
Also, they're let's face it. I don't think feminism invented hypergamy.
No, but it's using it. It's basically using
Let's put
it
it this
to.
way: feminism is making things worse, and it's not addressing the problem.
Yeah.
Because I think that ultimately what we're dealing with is a situation that's also compounded by what women naturally want.
Mm-hmm.
And we don't want to talk about that. Okay. That doesn't count. That was not on master. It was only on expert.
Was it hard?
Yeah, it was hard. I mean, like, I've never, this is the second time playing this game. So.
Yeah, it's fine. I mean,
see,
I played a lot of games that I sucked at, and I did it on the internet.
All right.
Okay, Ib says, this is another tweet, so he's going to respond to. At some point, we have to look at the freedoms that liberation provided in the revolution and think about whether they were worth it. He's putting freedoms, liberation, and revolution in quotes. Is it more or less likely for more children to be born and to grow up with their grandparents' love? Isn't that a good unto itself? Oh, good question, Ib. Sounds like you're trying to oppress women, though.
This game is oppressing me.
You don't have to conform. You don't have to be like your parents or grandparents and just marry someone very young, give up your life, give up your job, have children, and that's basically your role. Maybe you think that's a good thing. And now these women are like lonely and can't find a man. They're like, well, we told you feminism was bad, but we've covered the trad wife stuff on this.
How old are you? How old is this man? Like what? 30?
Maybe. I mean, I don't know, man.
You think that your mother didn't have a fucking job? Like, what universe? Like, my mother had a career. My mother. I might be old enough to be his mother. So, how is it that the
are you suggesting that feminists like this gentleman are making unfair comparisons to histories that never existed in order to justify their ideology because it gets them paid? That's a wild accusation that's going to require a substantial amount of evidence. Oh, wait, we have the present year to look around us and see how bad things are. And there's a direct correlation. And it seems like this ideology is everywhere. I'm going to just say it's a coincidence.
Channel. And we know that's not a good thing. And so many of you guys...
Why do we know it's a good thing? Wait, let me go back. What's not a good thing?
Feminism was bad, but we've covered the trad wife stuff on this channel, and we know that's not a good thing.
The trad wife is not a good thing, he's saying. It's just,
Well,
we know
I
it
guess
is.
you
No,
agree
no, no.
with the.
He said, we know it isn't a good thing. Let's just accept it and move on, because this is the order of the day. I have decreed the trad wife thing is not a good thing. We don't need to dig into this any deeper. We don't need to explore this any further. It has been confirmed. The experts have said so. We have consensus from the universities. I saw it on The View.
Feds.
It must be true.
The feds.
And
Yeah,
the feds, all of it's confirmed by all of the people in authority and power, and we all know that you shouldn't question power because they have F-15s and we don't.
Well, what if you're a
Or
Muslim
something
trad
like
wife?
that?
Which is almost all of them.
No, he would say that Muslim trad wives are not trad wives. The trad wife thing is specifically a white Western thing, because that's the only group of people you're allowed to criticize for their cultural differences, because black category. So.
And so many of you
Good Lord.
guys who have family members like myself who were in those more traditional relationships will tell you, yeah, it's a bad thing and often has bad outcomes. But then what's so funny about these guys?
Well, only you, my friend. I think you're the mistake. I'm sorry. I have so little sympathy for this guy. These people really piss me off.
Saying it is that like neoliberal capitalism has also sold them a lie, and they don't.
Oh, wow. I just put a bunch of neoliberal capitalism. Yeah. I'm educated. I went to a school. Those three words come together and they form a really strong emotional reaction.
All right, can you hear me? Because I'm trying to talk.
Yeah, I can hear you. Go ahead.
All right, I'm just going to sum this all up, what I've heard so far. A woman has said what she wants, and he's telling her, no, that's not what you want. How is that different than the men he's complaining about?
But he really has their best interests in mind, Allison.
Yeah.
Conservative men that he's criticizing, they don't. They clearly want to put women in the kitchen and chain them to the stove. It's very different.
And even so, like, these guys, this veteran who's complaining about, well, on this level, I seem to be fulfilling her desires, but I'm not getting women. What's going on? What gives? Well, who knows? Maybe he does have an insight. Let's hear it. Like, is he going to get to it, or is this going to be mostly just throwing shade on so-called conservative men, which we now know just means men? Is he just going to throw shade on other men?
I mean, I don't want to put money on it because I know I would win, but let's see.
I'd like to be productive. I'd like to see. Let's see if he has something of interest to say. Like I say with all the communists. If you figure out the main problem, which is you do need a meritocracy, otherwise your society's not productive. If you figure that out, yeah, good on you. But until you do, you've only got like 1/4 of a solution. You only have a complaint, really, which is not a solution. It's just a complaint. All right.
Well, they want to have a conversation about having a conversation.
I think they're entitled to find a partner based on their finances. And not
entitled. Men are entitled, guys.
In terms of personality, in terms of just everything outside the realms of finances, because they've been told their entire life, if you like get a good job, if you have a home, stable income, then that is like half the battle in actually finding a relationship.
Yes, it is.
And this is why they actually hate things like feminism, because now relationships are less and less a financial proposition. Because
no, they still
women
are.
Can have their own careers and don't need a man financially, right?
But that's still a prerequisite for men they earn more.
You're still not asking what women want. You're not even asking what women want. You still think that a woman is going to make as much as a man or more than a man and be totally fine just like sharing a life with him, and that at no point is she going to start thinking.
No, we're just ignoring
that. Yeah, we're just going to ignore women's like nature and preferences.
The songs that they write about no scrubs,
like
all of the TikTok. We're just going to ignore.
They're going to find out what Taylor Swift said this week.
The Easy Girl era. I'm in my what is it? Easy Girl?
I don't know. I know what you're saying. It's the whatever. They're not trying to get that bag while securing their own bag. That's not happening. No, that's because that would not be feminist. That's just what women do, though.
Well, Manifestelle seems to think she's a feminist. Like, so
No,
we're
she
gonna
is. She acts like one, but he's acting like that doesn't exist. That women are completely like that. In fact, women are more pro-egalitarian than men are, is what he thinks.
We're gonna ignore all of the songs that women write about not wanting scrubs. We're gonna ignore all of the TikToks about being in their
Soft
whatever
girl era.
soft girl era,
Soft girl
and where they want to
era,
be
yeah.
taken care of
Sprinkle,
as a
sprinkle.
sugar baby. We're going to ignore Hannah Cox, who explicitly says who's supposedly a boss babe, but still wants a man who does better than she does, because she's the table and she wants him to bring something to the table. We're going to ignore the statistics that show when men make more, they marry more, including when they win the lottery. We're going to ignore all of that, and we're going to tell people that what women are saying they want isn't what they want.
Yep.
Okay.
Damn that capitalism and its concern with property.
Yeah.
They wish
It's almost
this world
like
still existed.
It's almost like women are promoting capitalism, really, if you think about it, because they're demanding men earn a certain amount to be eligible for consideration for dating.
I mean, yeah, sure. I would argue that women promote materialism more. Capitalism is just like,
Meritocracy,
food, shelter, clothes. Like, it's like basically property. That's all. Like, I don't even like to use the word because I know that's some made up shit by commies. So I just say property rights. We didn't have to call it a free market. It's just property rights. And he doesn't like property rights, He doesn't know that women are the primary drivers of materialism. Like, they're the ones that are like, I need the newest clothes, I need the newest shoes, I need the new makeup, I need the new junk. And men are like more than willing to get it for them. Or, like back in the 80s, the car that used to pick up chicks, well, you could look back in history, it was like, did you have the convertible? And then later it was like, do you have the Ferrari? And then later it was like, do you have the fucking, Lexus? And now it's like, do you have the Bugatti? Oh, is it because men keep changing that? No. It's because women keep asking for more.
Yes.
And
men are like,
that's all it is. And men are like,
from-
well, yeah, how do I get that? Because I want to get a woman. Like, this is just...
Brian. Men want to exclude as many men as possible from the mating game. Like they want to be excluded. You see, the problem with incels is that they selected the standards so that they could be excluded. Oh, good lord. Okay, let's listen to some more. I think we got to get through this.
Another string to their bow of basically trapping women in these relationships, and it is scary that so many of these still think like this. Because there's lots of them saying we should get rid of no-fault divorce. Essentially, let's make it far harder for women to leave like terrible marriages with men in general, but in this instance, we're talking mainly about.
Why are you saying women? Because this would also apply to men.
What?
Well, no-fault divorce would also apply to men, right? Make it harder for men to leave.
Well, who initiates the majority of divorces?
I'm just saying, he's just revealing something. He's just revealing something right there. Okay. Maybe he'll get to a point. Like, it would be good if we could get something productive out of this. Like, he would say, hey, this is what women actually want. So maybe you could create like a standard or something, move forward to something like a solution. Like, okay. All he's doing is saying women don't want what they say they want. I know what they want. And men are wrong when they say that what women say they want is what they want. This is so far what it is. All right.
Yeah.
100,000 viewers, 100,000 subscribers, folks.
I have a feeling we're never going to learn. I'm just saying.
I'm just saying,
so
anything
proactive. These
proactive.
two examples and what they reveal. But before we go any further, please follow me on social media at The Cavernacle on both my Instagrams, my personal and my travel Instagram. Check me out on Threads and Blue Sky. We are talking about Twitter here, but I don't really use Twitter that much, so follow me there if you want, but I don't really care. And also check out my Patreon page if you want to support me. I'm trying to build up as many $1 to $3 patrons as possible, and you get access to the Discord server if you are a patron. So like I said, it seems to be a pastime for American conservative men to just post a woman complaining about how she can't get a meaningful relationship and basically laughing at it and blaming feminism. So in this clip, the TikTok user, and I think this is the original person, called Ryan Spencer, or maybe it's a repost, I don't know. And basically this woman is just basically talking about how all her friends are in relationships, they're all happy, and she's had a very successful life. She's got it all sorted, pretty much, apart from she can't find someone to share this nice life with. It's 3 minutes long, but I'll play you some of the relevant parts.
All right. Yeah, share. So I've seen this video. I want you to listen to her tone.
Maybe that's the problem.
Now tell me, because if this guy plays the clip without taking anything out of context too much, does this woman sound like she's looking for a man that she is willing to share what she has, or is she looking for a man to give her something? All right.
Yeah, because I wonder, like, if the share is the critical thing here. Like, does she know how to share? Okay.
Yeah.
This life with. It's 3 minutes long, but I'll play you some of the relevant parts.
Like, I am so sick and tired of just everything right now. I have literally convinced myself at this point, based on everything that everyone's telling me, my therapist, my family, my friends, that I'm just doing everything wrong. I'm healing wrong. I'm thinking wrong. I'm training wrong. I'm
no, she doesn't want to hear that though.
Everything I do is fucking
stop for
wrong.
a second.
She doesn't want to hear that,
If you are not getting the outcome that you want, you are in fact wrong.
No,
like,
she can't accept that.
Oh, the game's wrong. The game.
No, she was.
Brian, the
she
game's
was told.
wrong. It failed. I failed. The game's wrong. It's not me. It's the game. That's bullshit. You're not getting the outcome you want. You're not getting the goal you want. Who's to blame? You. This is the freaking problem with the issues around meritocracy. Women don't take responsibility when they're not getting what they want out of men. They just don't. They just insist that men are the problem, and yet at some point, relationships require courage. They require restraint. They require self-control. They require getting out of your head. They require enjoying the fact that somebody else is getting something from you, which is something that I think women like this really struggle with. You cannot have a relationship unless both parties want to make life better for the other party, which means some points your husband or your boyfriend is going to benefit from your actions. And you got to be okay with that, right? You can't be like, oh my God, patriarchy, male privilege. Oh, he's getting more out of the relationship than I. This is bullshit. This is relationship killing thinking, right? She says she wants to share. Does she? And if she's not getting her goal, everybody around her is 100% right. Change your approach.
Well, let's listen to her. Let's listen to her. Let's find out. I mean, I know what she actually says. So, but
relationships, everything I do is fucking wrong, and I'm so sick of it. Stop comparing. It's not even about comparison. Like, I genuinely just want love in my life so badly.
Really?
It's literally not about anyone else. It's just about me and what I want. I feel
you want love so badly that you will not take responsibility.
No, did you hear that? Let's listen again. Let's just listen to this again. Very important here. She's looking for love.
It's literally not about anyone else. It's just about me.
What was that? Wait, let's hear that again. What did she say? I feels like that's kind of an important detail.
I just want love in my life so badly. It's literally not about anyone else. It's just about me.
It's literally not about anyone else. It's just about me. I wonder what's driving the men away. I wonder. I want to share as long as, but it's also just about me. She doesn't want to share, dude. This is why she's getting clowned. Why can't this asshole see that?
Because she can't see women.
Like, I have done so much work on myself. I have built a beautiful life for myself. I'm happy with my...
No, you're not.
At my job, I'm successful, I'm independent. I'm healthier than I've ever been. Truly, the only thing I'm missing in my life is someone to enjoy it with. And I'm so sick of waiting. Like, when is it going to be my turn? What more do I have to do where I'm allowed to meet this universe soulmate person that God supposedly has for me, how much harder do I have to pray and manifest and wait? I don't want
Manifest. Do you guys see the problem here?
Oh,
She's
good Lord.
gotten, she thinks that she is like essentially a prime specimen of a human being, got it all done. Her shit's all like ducks in a row. I mean, I don't really know how true that is. She might have problems, but let's assume that all of this is true. And yet she's not finding a man. Now, statistically, that's impossible. There are probably men. She's not unattractive. Okay. So there are men who have approached her. Definitely. Like 100%. So if she has been approached by men, for sure, there's no way that didn't happen. And she's not finding the soulmate, and she's got all of her ducks in a row. Is it the fault of all the men that she has either ignored or turned down? Or is it something that she's missing? Because, you know, when you have all your material things in order, that's great. But guess what? That men are not impressed by how much shit you have. That doesn't impress men. They don't care about how much money you have. They don't care if you own your own business. They don't care about those things. They want a woman, especially at this age. What men want most from a woman is someone who's going to bring peace into their life. Peace. Does she bring peace? I don't know the answer. I'm just going to put it out there. Does she bring peace?
But here's the thing, like, she says she wants that, but does she actually want a companion? Because, I mean, people need to realize that being a companion is not necessarily easy. Sometimes it's work.
Yep.
You know, it can be an effort. It's like very rewarding. It's like taking on any kind of responsibility, but you're taking on responsibility for another human being. Is she prepared for that? You know, if you aren't taking on responsibility for your life partner's needs, why are you in a partnership? And from what I've been hearing and what you've been pointing out, this individual doesn't have the least skills for taking care of another person's needs.
Well, I mean, I'm not seeing any evidence of it. All I'm hearing is me.
Yeah.
I. Now. All right, let's listen to some more.
I don't expect a lot. I
really?
just want love in my life so bad. I want my life partner. Am I just supposed to be alone? Like, is that the message? That this beautiful life I've built for myself, like, it's just supposed to be me in it alone? All of my friends have their
How have you
fiancés
built
and
your
their
life?
boyfriends and their husbands that they prioritize. Like, as far as I'm concerned, I've been left behind. And I really just want to find that person that matches my energy and
That matches my energy. See, look, I feel for this woman, honestly. So I watched this video, and why I feel for her is because she has been told a lie. She's been told a lie that she has to be like a man to find a man. And she's also probably like done a lot for herself and then said, okay, now I won't settle for less than, XYZ from a man because I have done this. And none of the men are measuring up. That's why when she says match my energy, like, I don't know what that means, but that sounds like really hypergamous shit. So what are you gonna end up with? And I feel bad, but it's like, none of this was necessary. Like, you know, what would be...
She says she's manifesting, right? Okay, well, where's the space for a man in your life? You're saying, oh, I want to share this perfect... Okay, but let's look at it in terms of manifesting. You got to make space for it. I mean, if we're going to go for the woo, let's go for the woo. If you're going to manifest, you got to make space for it. So you got to make space for a man in your life. And if you're going to be the man and you're expecting a man who's even more of a man, that sounds like a never-ending treadmill. Like, I want somebody to match my energy. How about you want somebody who's benefited by your energy? Right? Somebody whose life is better because you're in it. That's making space. And I'm not even going to go into men don't want women who are. She's not offering what a man offers. I'm sure she could find a young man who would love to live with her in her house and enjoy the things that she has. You know, but that's not what she's into, I'm guessing. You know, because she doesn't. If you want a man in your life, you got to make room for a man. Right? And it's not just that you want your life to benefit some way, to be of benefit to him, and you want to approach the relationship. I'm going to exit this so you don't have to hear the sounds. You approach the relationship in terms of how do I benefit them. But also, you have to give room for a man to benefit you, because they like that. You know? Men like to feel like they matter. And that they've done something that has made your life better. They really like that, you know? So you have to make these kinds of spaces in your life, and it doesn't sound like you have. In fact, I don't even know if you have the right mentality for wanting a man, because it sounds more like you're upset that your girlfriends have got something you don't have. That's not the energy to bring to a relationship. And, you know, we're probably everything we're saying is not the same as what the conservatives said, or these conservative men that he's calling out have said. Maybe they said something different, like, "What are your standards, lady? I mean, I have all of this. What more do you want?" And I could answer that. Women want men who they feel have greater moral authority. Simple as that. Like, and this is like, even taking sex out of it, people are attracted to other people who they feel are more morally developed. And because we got rid of Christianity and its sort of focus on that kind of moral development, but also the focus on the idea that men have or attain a higher level of moral development, now that we've gotten rid of that, you know, the average man can't access it. So it doesn't matter how much of a badass you are, how much you make, you're not hitting that note. And I don't think any woman really can describe that, because I don't know, like most people, women don't have self-awareness. And I'm not saying most people don't really. Like, this is just but anyway, shall we? I mean, how far have we gotten in? Like, I feel like we're
6 minutes.
Okay, let's keep going.
All right.
I don't have a time. I don't
build a life.
So I don't think she specifically references dating apps, but that's like part of the problem. And you're going to see the dating app thing come up a lot in this video, so I might as well address it. So this person is talking about how they can't find someone compatible with them. And I sympathize with that to some degree. Like, I've been in a long-term relationship pretty much since dating apps were even a thing, with my girlfriend who I met in high school. And I was thinking about this recently in terms of, if we ever broke up, would I even want to date again, like, in any capacity in like the near future, like a couple years after that? And I'm just thinking, like, no, because the dating landscape at the moment just seems really unappealing in terms of dating apps. And I know what I'm like personally, and not how picky I am,
dating
but how
apps.
hard it is.
Okay.
Dating apps.
So you're saying it's unappealing because of dating apps. That's like when people blame the internet for social
Driving
problems.
is unappealing because of cars.
Yeah.
Okay, let's keep going.
All right.
I feel like
I
maybe
think this is the thing, like, too, like, okay. So he said, I've been dating in a long-term relationship ever since dating apps were a thing with my girlfriend from high school. So you didn't meet your girlfriend on a dating app then, right?
No.
I mean, you knew her from high school. So this is, it sounds like a comparison that makes no sense unless you met your girlfriend on a dating app and then right afterwards realized you guys went to the same school, which I also find hard to believe. But it sounds like you're really not wanting to actually confront the fact that sexual selection has gone like completely off the rails, and the divide between men and women has never been bigger, and a lot of it does have to do with women's liberation. I think I do.
Liberation from what? It seems like they've never been more chained.
Well, liberation doesn't mean like this what people think it means. Like I don't want to get into it, but it's like the sort of like Marcusian version of liberation, which is really more like what you're saying. It's like an enslavement. So, but the point is that there's a reason why women have gone like their tastes and their preferences have gone off the rails, while men have stayed relatively the same.
Yeah. Can I just point something out here?
Yeah.
He says, "Oh, I sympathize with this woman," and yet his body says something different. He watches this and he says, "Thank God I don't have to date this woman." That's what he's saying. I know he's not specifically, explicitly saying it, but think about the lack of self-awareness that generally people have, and the proximity of what he's saying. He's watching this woman and she's thinking, "Thank God I don't have to date today."
Yeah, and then he even says, "I don't know that I would date if I broke up with my current girlfriend."
Yes.
And it's like, wow, that's fucking dark. Like, is that really what you want? You know, and I know it's not. Like, these people lie to themselves all the time. Oh, I would never want to do that. Yes, you do. You just don't want to admit it.
Well, I mean, even so, he's revealing something about himself. He's revealing that in response to this woman, his emotional response is to say ick to this woman. He's just not being honest with us or himself.
Yeah, exactly. All right, let's play some more.
To find someone you really vibe with. And I know that because of how hard I've actually found making friends as I've gotten older. Now, I still have a lot of friends, and I'm actually going to something at the weekend with a lot of my friends, but I was thinking about what age did I make friends with these people? So the earliest ones there, I made friends when I was about 5 years old. So that was in primary school. And then secondary school for a lot of the others, so about 12 years old, and a few of them about like 16 years old when we like mixed classes. But nearly every single person I'm meeting at this thing, I've been friends with since school in some capacity. And for a lot of reasons, it's actually good to still have your school friends because you're all so different, but you still get on. So you get that.
I'm pausing it there for a second. I want to jump to a different part. I can't. Let me see here. Let me see. Challenges of finding medium collections on apps. The hindrance to finding a partner. Entitlement and self-improvement. Maybe I can jump to that. So where is this at? Let's see. Come on now. Help me get there. Help me get there. Okay, 6. Oh, I already started that section. Prioritizing emotional compatibility and personal growth in relationships. I don't know if is this guy gonna get into like why conservative men are the worst thing ever or what?
That nice variety.
No, apparently we're
like
just
outside of that.
Yeah.
Apparently we're just going to say that and then have the same emotional response that the conservative men had to this woman. Like, I mean, seriously, the conservative men are like, what the... And he is also saying, what the fuck? He's just not being honest with himself. Because the first thought is watching this woman is, thank God I don't have to date now. And by the way, lady, if that's the response men are having to you, it is a you thing. Like, even this sort of like feminist is having that emotional response to this woman. She must be so unbelievably like repulsive that she and he's not admitting it. He's not admitting. He's not saying, yeah, actually it's this woman that's making me just suddenly realize, hey, thank God I don't have to date today. You know?
Yeah. Okay.
Sorry,
well, we'll
this
see
is
if
just
he gets to something.
Like real world, work, and university, for example, when I'm out of my bubble. How hard or easy did I find it? Well, I think I made 4 real friends in the whole of university. Like, sure, you have like those like mates that you might go drinking with or go to the pub with, but in terms of actual friends you stayed in contact with after you finished, yeah, for me it's as compatible as possible.
He's
All
really
right, I'm just
processing.
jumping ahead.
Like, let me tell you what's happening here. He's processing an emotion he doesn't want to take responsibility for. That's why he's going on this long tangent.
Yeah, I'm gonna reel it
and that
in
emotion,
and come back.
yeah, that emotion is repulsion towards that woman. Like, you must be a lady. If you're repulsing the male feminists, something's seriously wrong. If you're
Well, I
making them,
mean,
yeah,
they're wrestling. They're trying to wrestle with this reality that, like, the one thing they can't accept is that there are cases where women become entitled and men
yes,
are not, and
yes,
they're unable to process that. They have to, like, always frame women as the victims of men's entitlement. And this
yes.
woman is clearly like, this is the thing, okay? What you want isn't necessarily what's best for you. And this woman is struggling because she's in a place where she has pursued what she thought she wanted and is finding that she is more unhappy because it isn't actually what turns out. It's not what is best for her. And she may be looking in the wrong places to find this misery, like her peers, who maybe they did do something completely different. Maybe they were just like, I'm going to find a man and we're going to partner up and we're going to build a life together as a team, or whatever it is. Or I'm going to find a man and I'm going to, for lack of a better word, submit to him, like his moral authority, not necessarily, like a servant or anything like that. We're going to form a partnership. We're going to build a family together.
Well,
and she's
no matter
like,
what, if you're in a partnership, you have to submit sometimes.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It is when I say submit, though, again, this is one of those words that's been made emotionally charging for people, and they're going to hear it and say, oh my God, do you mean the Handmaid's Tale? And it's like, stop it, retard. Take a Xanax and sit down. I'm talking about, like, the fact that sometimes you and your partner, you have to, like, submit to them because maybe they're right about something or they should have authority in a given situation.
And here's the thing. There's a recognition in that whole construct that men submit to certain aspects of women too. And that is that men tend to put women's benefit first. And it's even said in the Bible, it's like women submit, and I think it's like learn from how men do things, and men are called to put women first. Now, I'm just pointing that out. I'm just saying that. I'm not saying that that's the way it has to be, but it's true. I mean, if you're in a relationship, at some point you do have to submit. You do have to allow your partner to lead. And if you can't do that, then you're probably not going to be in a very good relationship. And you're definitely not going to be in a relationship where you feel secure as a woman, period. Like this lady's not. So the point is that is a skill, and it requires courage. Like submission requires courage, and nobody tells anybody about that. To be willing to submit requires courage and discipline and self-development. And but to get back to this guy, I think that he's just repulsed by her entitlement. So he's going into this long ass, and like I think feminist men tend to be more on like the incel phenotype kind of thing, where they process things more verbally. So he's had a strong emotion. Now he's processing it, and he's going into this long thing about, oh, well, I didn't want to get friends because it's hard to vibe with someone. And actually what's happened is he's had a strong disgust response to this woman. And his immediate response was, oh, thank God I don't have to engage with a person like this. That was his immediate response. Did you guys notice that? Like, I'm so glad I don't have to date because of well, not this woman, something else, dating apps, and also because it's really difficult for me to vibe. Okay, get further from the topic, because I have trouble making friends. You see what he's doing?
Yeah, sure.
He's running from the same disgust response that the conservative men had, except he's not taking responsibility for it. Now, I don't think this guy's dangerous, but this is something I've seen and there are some feminist men who are dangerous. They have a disgust response to women, a very strong disgust response, but they do not recognize it on a conscious level. So all of that filth, all of that sort of corruption and disgust gets buried deep within them. They don't process it. And if you are, unfortunately, if you're in a position at some point as a woman where you fail to uphold their identity as a one good man, that can erupt onto you. And I'm not saying that this guy's dangerous. That eruption might just be like a complete implosion on his part. But some guys are. Some guys are very dangerous. Some feminist men are very dangerous. This process of trying to swallow your disgust towards women is a dangerous process. You're much better off with men who are conscious of it and are just like, no, this woman is disgusting. And don't internalize it. Like, cause that's the problem. Like, men internalize this, they swallow it, they put it into like a lava chamber inside them. And I mean, if you're lucky, then it never explodes. If you're unlucky, it does. And you end up in a situation that we were tangentially a part of. Okay.
Right. Okay. I'm gonna play more.
This guy
Yes.
who posted it said, all she wants to find a man and she's sick and tired of waiting. Then asks Grok, Twitter's like right-wing AI. Grok.
Right-wing AI, Grok. Yeah, okay, sure, dude, sure. Well, again, when he says right-wing, it's not because it is right-wing. It's just like when he says conservative men, it doesn't mean they're conservative men. He's just putting them in a box so that you have a reaction to it. So don't fall for it. But it says, Grok says there are two main types of narcissism, grandiose and vulnerable. Grandiose narcissists are typically arrogant, confident, and assertive, while vulnerable narcissists are more insecure, sensitive, and self-conscious. Both types share a core belief in their own superiority and a need for validation from others. Is that a lie? Is that right-wing buzzword action, or is that just Grok
I think
answering
the
a
problem is
question?
that they're applying it to a woman, and he doesn't believe that women like
Yeah.
that's the thing. Like, he has an emotional response to women, as you can see. He had an emotional response to this woman, and that emotional response was disgust. So he is actually judging women based on her actions, but his ideology does not allow him to acknowledge that on a conscious level, right?
Sure.
So he has to essentially put that, acknowledging women's behavior as negative and as disgusting, he has to put that on his scapegoat and then ritually destroy it or
Sure.
deny it. So essentially what's happened is he's had this disgust-based emotional reaction to this woman, and now he's going to blame his own emotions on conservative men, which is a meaningless category. When he says conservative men, he's just saying everything that I experience emotionally that's inconsistent with my identity as a person who regards women as infallible. You see what I'm saying?
Yes.
This is how scapegoats work.
Yeah.
Everything that we feel is inconsistent with our identities that are precious to us, we put on the scapegoat, and then we say, well, of course, we're not that man. I mean, I had the same feeling as these conservative men, but I'm not them because I'm not part of that category. You know,
Yeah.
and it's basically a very childish approach. Okay.
All right, I'm gonna play.
Grok says there are two types of narcissism, grandiose and vulnerable. Grandiose narcissists are typically arrogant, confident, and assertive, while vulnerable narcissists are more insecure, sensitive, and self-conscious. Both types share a core belief in their own superiority and need for validation for others. So that's what he's saying in response to this video I showed you, that this person is a narcissist because they can't find someone to share their life with. How does that make someone any type of narcissist?
No.
Yeah,
Again, this is emotional groping by this guy. That's not what they're responding to. They're not responding to the fact she can't find a partner. They're responding to the terms that she uses, the framework she uses, her attitude, the fact that even though she's made this perfect
She
life for
literally
herself,
says, it's not about anyone else, it's about me and what I want. She literally says it word for word.
okay,
Literally
and again,
says it.
yes, literally, and also apparently her desire to have a partner isn't because she actually wants a partner. It's because she's got FOMO because all of her friends have one, right?
Yeah,
Fear
so
of
it's
missing
still
out.
about her. Even
So
then,
it's still about
it's
her.
not about like what can I work on, what personality quirks, what can I work on, what are my values? Not like how much shit do I have, like what do I believe in? What are my values? Like what do I have that I can share with a man if we lose everything? Like if we lose everything tomorrow, if the economy collapses on itself tomorrow and we're homeless and we have nothing, what do we have? That's really what matters, okay? But she doesn't have an answer to that because she's just like, oh, I got my own business. Again, it's like what I said before, you know, if you remove people too much from the world as fragile as it is, she seems like the same kind of person that would go into a Whole Foods and see that they're out of like, her fucking avocado toast, and she's like, well, don't you have any in the back? That's like, where is the back? And
Okay.
like, it's just separated from reality.
All right. Well, also, like, yeah, the way that she's talking about the issue is very narcissistic. If you listen to it, it's a very narcissistic approach. Grok apparently picked up on that and just said she might be a vulnerable narcissist. This guy picked up on that. Like, I guarantee he picked up on that on an emotional level, which is why he went into I'm so glad I don't have to date today. I wonder why you suddenly thought of that when you watched that woman. Hey, Brian?
Yeah.
And then he starts to grope away from his emotional response of disgust. He's starting to rationalize it. He's rationalizing it because it's inconsistent with his identity, which doesn't allow that women can be disgusting. Like, let's just be frank. Like, women can be disgusting. I'm not even talking about physically. I'm talking about emotionally, psychologically, intellectually. They can present themselves in a way that's repulsive. And he can't handle that because he's identified with women being socially desirable. What that means is that they're always the ones that you measure social desirability against. So they themselves can never be disgusting because they are the measurement of disgust. And in order to recognize his emotional response of disgust, he'd have to deny his own identity. So he starts going off on these intellectual tangents about rationalizing it. Then he goes and he says, oh, look, this person had this, or the Grok has the completely neutral recognition of why I felt disgust listening to her. I'm going to say Grok is right wing, even though, I'm having the same response as all of these right wing people, or as all of these right wing men, and Grok is giving a neutral explanation of where that response is coming from. I'm going to say that is the right wing response. That is incompatible with my identity. Patooey, patooey, patooey. And then I don't have to take any responsibility to it. So that he gropes through this process of rationalization, ending with scapegoating, and now he doesn't have to take responsibility on an intellectual level for his physical response to this woman, which was disgust. But that disgust is still there, friends. It's still in him. He's just justified why he doesn't have to process it.
Besides career, nice new cars and success over starting a family, she fell for it just like the rest, and you'll see this a lot.
Isn't that capitalism,
my
though?
heart actually breaks for her. She's been...
Well, he's blaming capitalism.
Okay.
This guy's a commie, so he hates capitalism. He thinks capitalism is the reason why women are sad. So, not, men and capitalism. In fact, capitalism, patriarchy, conservatism, those are all essentially the same thing for this guy.
Okay, but
they all mean the same thing.
Okay, so he's saying that this woman is disgusting because insert scapegoat. This woman is disgusting to me because insert scapegoat, because capitalism. But what would he rather her do? Not pursue a career?
Well, women should see, the thing is, women should be able to desire things. But you know what?
Let's hear what he has to say.
All right.
Let's stop
sold a bill
groping.
of goods through feminism, and the route society has gone. We all need and deserve love. I still get angry at these women, but every now and then I just have pity for them. Obviously, I'm not suggesting they are to take zero accountability and that it's everyone else's fault for the situation, but they were lied to by those closest to them, and they should have been there to protect them. So obviously, I know what the alternative these people are suggesting is basically like women don't have careers anymore. What I always find so funny...
You're a communist! Are people supposed to be defined by their careers, by their activity in the capitalist system? I thought you were a communist. Are we abandoning that now?
Well, he thinks that, nobody should work, but if we're going to have a system where people work, everybody should work. Because we either are all miserable. Like, if men...
How are we ever going to have a different system if women don't value something different? Like, does he think that he's going to construct a system in complete defiance of what women value? And he says everybody else is the misogynist? Like, okay, go ahead, Brian.
It's not meant to be understood. It's just meant to be done.
You're right. It's meant to just be like, This emotion is actually an emotion of the right wing. My disgust for this woman and her behavior is actually, right wing, therefore it's not mine.
Yeah, patriarchy hurts men too, something like that.
Feminism
okay.
through some sort of like weirdly like anti-capitalist lens, but just for women, is that they say, oh yeah, having a career, working for the man, it's also soul destroying. Wouldn't it be better if you just like started a family and focus on the family, things that are more important, right? But they never apply this to the overall system of, oh yeah, it's all bullshit. It pretty much all means nothing for men and women.
Hey, look. Hey, guys. Hey, look. I didn't know he was a communist. I presumed it. I prejudiced him, but I was right. Because I'm always right about that. So, of course, no, I am. I knew it. I was like, he's a commie. And sure enough, he comes out and he goes, well, look, actually, and he does this fucking, he hits us with the rhetoric bomb where he's like, well, it's weird because, conservative men, meaningless term, they actually like kind of hate capitalism, but only for women. But then they try to convince women that working for the man is soul destroying, but they won't just go all the way with it. Huh. Weird.
Because they recognize that meritocracy is necessary for the functioning of a society, and conservative men specifically want men to take it on the chin.
Yeah. But I mean, like at the same time, it's like, this is the thing that's funny about these guys. They think that having a job and working a job and earning money is somehow putting you in a privileged position over people who don't. That's why he's like, well, why are you taking away women's right to work? Women should be able to work too. But then they also try to convince you that working is actually like, it sucks and you shouldn't have to do it because you're working for the man and you're making the CEOs 1% rich and yet, and it's just barely enough for you to live off of. So why are you doing that? But also don't deny it from women. Like this is why it's not worth like trying to go through the logic of it. Okay. Men work despite the fact that much of the time they hate their job because they understand that providing for a family is more important than liking their job. So they make a choice. It's almost like life is nothing but trade-offs. And they make this choice and they follow through on that. And communists are mad because they want to be like 24-hour video game streamers for the cause. And they don't want to live in reality where men have to go out and just be like garbage men and work in sewers and work the power lines and go to the fucking coal mines or whatever it is because they want to provide food and shelter for their fucking families. And they can't even see, and they would prefer that their wife, was like either, helping with the family, the actual rearing of children, than being like in the workforce too, just because equality, whatever the fuck that even means, which it doesn't mean anything. Like men give their resources to women willingly, and then women vote so that the state takes it from them by force on top of that. And men still are like, well, okay, we'll just go with that. And then people like this try to convince women that the same men who are at once giving them money and their resources and their time and their blood, sweat, and tears fucking by their own free choice, while those women are using the state to take resources from them and redirect them to women by force. And then these people, cunts like this guy, are trying to convince them that those men are the bad guys. And that if any of them say, I'd like to find a woman that's not going to like put me through hell and maybe will help out around the house, he'll be like, oh, that sounds really entitled, even though that's literally what he wants. He just won't say it because he doesn't want to be considered conservative because it has that buzz, electromagnetic, fucking emotional black category shock value attached to it. And he can't I can't even address this in the realm of reality because I have to continually fight against the fucking buzzwords. So anyway, there you go.
Okay.
All right.
Let's play
some more.
So we should be free to do what we want. But it's like, no, it's soulless and bad for women, so please.
Nobody gets to do what they want. Everyone does what they must. And then, like, if they get a little bit of free time, maybe they will try to enjoy themselves. Why do people like that? This must be your job. This must be his job because he seems to think that men who get up in the morning and leave their house at like 7 a.m. to go to a job are just doing whatever they want and they're not actually working.
Like, he's admitting that, okay, he's saying that conservatives admit that work is soul destroying, and it's horrible, but they don't want women to have to do it. And that's the thing, like, the way
men want to give women their resources. Like they want to.
The way that it's structured, absolutely. Men are doing the soul destroying shit to keep society running. Women are enjoying the fruits of their labor. That's exactly the way the conservatives want it, because they believe that men should take it on the chin. Have you not noticed that?
We're not talking about conservatives, Allison. We're talking about normal men.
Like, what? How is it going to work in corporate or communism? Does he think that
everyone's going to have to work in communism? Like, there's going to be camps for that.
Yeah,
there's not going to be like this fucking zeitgeist robot farms.
Work was just invented by capitalists to keep the proletariat down?
That's what he thinks. Yes.
Where do you think resources come from? Somebody has to acquire them.
It's in the back, Allison.
Until we live in like heaven,
the resources are in the back.
Those resources are going to be difficult to acquire and dangerous. And
they've
conservatives
always been dangerous.
Prefer that men take those risks.
Well, men prefer to take those risks.
If I'm going to use his black category to define people, let's say people who are interested in a traditional arrangement of the sexes, which isn't really that traditional because women did a lot of the work throughout human history.
Yes, women worked, yes.
And I can sort of sympathize with the women who do want to be useful. Like, I'm a woman who wants to be useful. You know? I'm a woman who wants to build things and make stuff and be able to do something difficult. So I sympathize with that.
Yeah.
But that, I mean, I'm not gonna say that conservatives are what they're not. They're not. They want men to occupy the more difficult position in society, and they want them to do it in order to protect and provide for women. That's their position. That's the traditionally masculine position. All right. I don't know why he's mystified by it, and they don't want men to stop occupying that position because they know somebody has to. And I think the problem with his thinking is he thinks that nobody has to do the line work. Nobody has to do the sewer work. Nobody has to do the utilities work.
It just works.
It just happens. It doesn't just happen. This is necessary work. Conservatives look at the world, they see the necessary, the dirty, the difficult, the dangerous, and they say men should be doing those jobs to provide women not just with the utilities that they're making, but also to provide women with a nest, a household that they can enjoy leisure and safety and security and raise children and occupy themselves with whatever hobbies or interests that they have. You know, maybe the assumption was the conservatives think that there was going to be like a huge revolution in female philosophy, like a new Greek philosophical age. And then we got feminism. So that was sort of taken off the table. But you know, like, who knows? They just believe that women are the ones who should get the benefit of men's labor. Yeah. And men shouldn't. And that's why they advocate this way. And when they look at you, when they look at this communist dude, what they see is a man who doesn't believe that men should be the ones sacrificing themselves in the dangerous, dirty, and difficult jobs. That the men shouldn't be the ones sacrificing themselves in the workplace in order to create a little Shangri-La for their wives. You know, and they see that, and they see a man who disgusts them because they don't see him as a man. They see him as a man who is shirking his duty to put women first.
Yeah.
And he doesn't understand them because he's like, well, why don't you advocate that for men? And it's like, well, you have this stereotype about conservatives that conservatives don't care about women. They very much care about women. They care about women way more than they care about men. It's just that you guys are arguing over how best to benefit women. It's so funny because both sides do that. Have you noticed? And nobody's on the side. Yeah, I don't. I'm like,
No, I
well,
know,
guess
but I'm saying like
it's just probably why we're so
it's all
small.
right. It's not
But
a sides thing. It's just the way we are.
let me
Most people are
qualify
just
that.
that way.
I don't think it's of women's benefit to continually see them as not in terms of their actions, because that is a cage that we put women in. When we put women in this kind of they can only be one thing, well, then they can only be one thing. It's a cage. And honestly, as a woman, I would rather be defined by my actions than being a woman than being defined as being a woman.
Right.
And I think that when we don't do that for women, like when we do things like respect women, well, what are you respecting? What are you respecting?
Mm-hmm.
Really? Especially when you can't even define a woman. But, like, so I think it's of a certain type of benefit for women to be judged based on their actions and their moral decisions.
Right.
However,
I got a Super Chow, but go ahead.
oh, cool. That's like our first one. All right. No, I'm
Yeah.
done. I'm done. Go do our Super
All
Chow.
right. So I did get one like yesterday at 8:00. So it was like after,
Okay.
because I don't think what was yesterday? Yesterday was Saturday, right? Yeah. So we got one yesterday. So there's no show, but it was in reference, I think, to maintaining frame number 102. So I'm gonna read that one out really quick first. So let me just a moment here. Let me put Badger's hand on the screen. Maintaining frame number 102. Women are competing on X. Gave us $5 and says, women transform the actions that give them the ick into a trading card game. The winner of each round is the woman who comes up with the most stupid ick, and then the players return to thinking of new scenarios and events that will let them win the next round of icks. I bet that somehow winning the game elevates their status among other women, probably by saying something like, quote, I can be so incredibly picky and choosy because I am incredibly valuable, end quote. This minigame sucks. I think that's right. I think it's another kind of competition. And this is the thing, like, it's okay that women are competitive with other women, just like men can be competitive with other men, but we just need to acknowledge it. That's all.
And make it useful. Like hunter-gatherer societies, like women are competitive with other women, but they're competitive in terms of being productive. So the most productive woman gets the highest status man. So if she's able to make, I don't know, the most supple skin or the most interesting quill work or whatever. So we define things in terms of participation in the society. And that's,
right.
I think, a healthy society. Like if women are competing over providing for some aspect of society, that's not bad. Men do it. I mean, I think part of the problem in all of this, if I were to be really honest, is that as a result of industrialization, a lot of the way that women contributed and competed in a productive way disappeared. And we haven't solved that.
Yeah.
I think most women do want to be useful. They don't just want to be like they don't just want to be the measuring tool. They also want to go out and do stuff. And that's a good quality. And I think that's a great quality in women. I think that a lot of what we're seeing, the dysfunction that we're seeing in women, is because they have these impulses. They want to have an external moral standard, which is now intersectionality. They want to be useful, so they become career women. But there's no connection between that and actually, the process of becoming a mother and having children and being in a relationship with a man and all of that other stuff. There's no way of bringing that stuff together. So it all becomes really a dysfunctional mess. And, and it's like, I mean, those impulses are, in my opinion, perfectly respectable, like wanting to participate, wanting to achieve, wanting to gain that merit, wanting to pursue excellence, wanting to protect the vulnerable or what you perceive to be the vulnerable. All of those are worthy impulses. It's just they're sort of twisted into some really screwed up ends. Anyway.
Well, all right. Let me. I got another Super Chow. I'm gonna read real quick. Asthrun gave us $5 and says, That guy needs to talk with people who lived during the USSR. He has a girlfriend now, but the leader of the party can decide for him to move to the other side of the continent, and his girlfriend can't move with him. Her labor is needed here, his there. Happy communism. All right, well, I will say for the record, he didn't explicitly say that he was. And if you asked him directly, I've also seen this happen too, where these people will dodge that and they'll be like, no, I'm a progressive. No, I'm a libertarian socialist. No, I'm a democratic socialist. So, I mean, just to be fair, I am making an allegation. It all sounds the same to me anyway, but appreciate the Super Chow regardless. All right, so let's play more of the video.
The dividing line is this. Do you realize that we need a meritocracy in society to be productive? We can't just all live off of the labor of nobody. And people who are laboring should have a benefit to that labor.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, playing more of the video.
Become a baby machine and my maid instead. That sounds like freedom. But of course, for these men, it's all about control. But here is an interesting comment.
Wait a second. I thought you said that they're saying that well, he was essentially saying that the conservative men are saying that capitalism is horrible, right? Or the process.
Yeah, but they also think that working gives them power over women because they control the money. So it's sort of like, I think what he's saying is that men are willing to be slaves to capitalism because they can make women their slaves because they're the ones earning the money and women have nothing, something like that.
Like,
but that's what feminism is based on, though, isn't it? I mean,
yeah. Let's puncture this. All right, let's puncture this. When we have the Industrial Revolution, all right, that allowed men working outside the home to take over women's jobs as well. Let's be honest. Like, because they can buy the labor-saving devices that take a job done in the home from like 6 days a week, 12 hours a day, to like 5 hours or 3 hours a day, 5 days a week, right? So men are actually doing women's job in the home. By buying the appliances that reduce that labor down to a far more manageable amount. Okay? So this isn't a situation where they're putting women into a maid position or forcing them to work in the home, because like, men are removing the labor of the home. You see what I'm saying?
yes.
So it's like men are basically saying, hey, ladies, how would you like to have no job at all? Not even a job in the home. Or only like a part-time job. The only thing that you now have to do is direct the labor of all these mechanical servants. That's it. That's all you have to do, ladies. We'll buy you a whole suite of mechanical servants to do your job for you. All you have to do is direct their labor, and huzzah, we do everything. So this is like, the framework is total bullshit. Because what men are actually saying is, ladies, stay at home, let us do the work, and we'll buy you a suite of mechanical servants that all you have to do is just control. Right? And then you will have a complete part-time job, raise children until they go to school, which will be paid for by the taxpayers, and there you go. That's your life. So this is not a situation where men are saying, oh, well, I want you to become a maid and servant. That's bullshit. If they wanted
of course not.
They would never have made it so that women in the home had a suite of mechanical servants to do the work for them that they pay for. Like, that's not what it really is that these men are saying, women, we want you to have the easiest, most leisurely life possible. And some of us, in return, would like a little bit of gratitude.
Yeah.
You get to feel like your affection is what makes us willing to do this. We're doing all of this because you demonstrate that you love us for it. And that's it. That's too much. And that is oppression of women, is it? Okay, all right. Fair enough.
All right,
let's keep
play
it.
some more.
Or go a bit viral. He says it, but I think he's meant to say I'm a 5'7" dude who's a manager at Amazon warehouse making 55k annual that would give her the world, but she probably thinks she can do better. That's an issue with a lot of y'all. And here's the problem with this mindset. It's like this weird victim mindset, right? She's saying she can't find a relationship.
No, he's not playing victim. Are you okay? I'm gonna let him finish, but this guy's not playing victim. It's so funny when men say this is my situation, and it's not like I'm on top of the world. People like this come out and say, oh, you're playing the victim. This is Alex Syke bullshit. Oh, you're playing the victim. No, I'm describing my situation. It's like I get hit by a car and I'm in the street and I'm like, yes, I've been hit by a car. Can someone call 911? Oh, you're playing the victim. I'm describing my situation.
He's already basically saying he wouldn't be good enough because he's an average person. He's 5'7", he makes 55k dollars a year, and he would give her the world. Obviously, this comment is weird because it's like, you know, reeks of like desperation. You don't even know this person. Why would you give him the world? Oh, it's because she's like fairly attractive, right? These kind of like incel adjacent talking points. It's always about like.
Do you see that subtle thing?
Incel adjacent talking points. I love it. More black categories. Incel.
Okay, can I just point something out?
Yeah.
Give him. Do you notice what he did there? This guy said, "I would give this woman the world," and he's like, "Oh, he doesn't even know her. He's just attractive." But there was that. I think he's contending with his disgust towards this woman's behavior or what she said. I still think he's still contending.
I think maybe, but I think there's okay. This guy, people like this, they think they know the minds of the people they're like supposedly owning online. So they like, I know what you really believe. This is what he says. This is why he uses these buzzwords like these adjectives: conservative men, incel adjacent men, red pill men, manosphere men, whatever, white men, heterosexual men. Because what he's also, it's not just that he's like trying to get an emotional reaction out of the audience. Like, you know, so when he says these men and people go, ugh, he's also telling them, I know what really goes on in the minds of these people. So when they say something online, because I am a telepath, because all progressives are telepaths, I can read his mind. I can tell you what he really thinks. So what he's assuming is, and I'll go back to the tweet because I think this is what's going on. It's
because
ironically, I'm kind of doing it too. But I mean, I'm just recognizing patterns. He's saying that this guy says, I would give her the world. And what he's suggesting is that it's ironic to him because he thinks that these men hate these women, but they're also conflicted because they want to attract these women. But it's not really a conflict because the guy is saying, look, a guy like me, average guy, 5'7", 55k a year, works at Amazon. He's just saying that average guys like me are not people to most women. And, it's just the truth. It's not because these women are cruel. I think it's because that women's reality is distorted by, their reality is distorted. So like men who are average or below they are not just like unattractive, they're invisible. Like they're not even noticed. So when this woman says, why can't I find a man? And I said earlier in this video, I said it's bullshit because I'm sure there were men that are hitting on her, buying her drinks, whatever, making offers. I'm sure that she probably gets a lot of attention because she isn't bad looking. But you see, those aren't men to her. They're not even people. That's why she's like, why can't I find this man? But she has this idea in her head of the kind of man she wants. And that man in her mind has not appeared. He has not manifested, despite how hard she has tried to manifest this soulmate that she has in her head. This is just not the way the world works. And when another man says, well, I would like to take you out, but you probably wouldn't give me the time of day. This guy says, oh, that's ironic. I thought you hate women, but you also want this woman's attention. It's like, no, he's describing a situation. The point of it is to say, maybe the average woman should be attracted to the average man, and we'd probably all be better off. And this guy's like, nope, can't have that. Women should have preferences. I mean, women are entitled to preferences, men are not. That's essentially it.
I think this is getting a little bit in the weeds. I think that I honestly, I think I think we should really think about the idea that this woman is actually giving him a disgust response, and he's trying to rationalize it.
Maybe. All right, I'm gonna play more.
Like, and the conservatives aren't getting it. Okay, bear with me. Bear with me. The conservatives aren't expressing a disgust response. They're essentially saying, "Hey, I would love to give you the world. I would love to be your sacrificial creature. I would love to, you know, just basically take on all of the hard stuff so you can have a life of pure leisure. You can be my princess, and I will be your eternal devoted slave." And he's like, ew. This woman, and he's having this emotional reaction to her, but he's trying to rationalize it away. And he's even having an emotional reaction to the attraction that these men have. Well, I mean, look at how he frames the whole thing about conservatives saying work is horrible, so men should have to do it. And he's like, well, why don't you do that for men? Like, you think that work is horrible, but you don't believe it. So for men, you don't want men to be able to get out of work. And you know, I think it's just this unexamined, I don't know, unexamined emotion that he's experiencing in the face of a woman who he actually genuinely does not vibe with, or he thinks is, you know, morally repugnant, but he can't pin it on her. So he's like going after the conservatives that actually find her attractive because they're okay with that framework of giving her everything.
Well, then why would he pick this video to respond to? But it's not like this came out of nowhere and it caught him off guard. He chose this video
because he's having an emotional reaction to it. He's having an emotional reaction to it. He needs to process his emotions over the video. And he's going through the process of rationalizing it, scapegoating, instead of projecting disgust or feeling the disgust he has for this woman, he feels the disgust towards the men who find her attractive and who would give her the world. Like, I think we're underestimating how much this is purely driven by emotion. Okay, just think about it.
All right, I'm gonna play more of the video.
It's like fairly attractive, right? These kind of like incel adjacent talking points is always about like, oh, it's the woman's fault. You don't know anything about this person. She never.
Okay,
said,
wait!
oh,
I got it. I can explain it. Okay, he says, well, the only reason he's responding to this is because she's attractive. Okay, but she's also said a whole bunch of stuff, right? She's also described a whole bunch of stuff. She's expressed some aspect of her personality. She says she's done this, she's achieved that. You know, she says she's a career woman. Why isn't this guy being like, oh, well, maybe this guy is actually responding to all of the wonderful things that she's expressing in terms of her personality in that video? Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like she was expressing aspects of her person, her successfulness, her career, you know, her personality. And this guy is presuming that other man is only responding to her attractiveness. What does that say about his attitude to all of her personality and her achievements in that video, Brian?
I don't know.
It says that he does not find them attractive. The feminist man does not find that attractive. So he believes the only thing a man could be attracted to about her is her looks. I'm telling you, this guy is trying to work through his disgust. Okay, let's keep going.
All right.
I was dating a guy, I found out he worked at Amazon and I rejected him, or I reject everyone who's like shorter than the average man. No, you're just projecting.
Actually, I think the average man is about 5'7".
Yeah.
So
projecting your own insecurity on this comment, but even talking about your income and job in relation to how much of a match you are for someone in the dating world. Like, again, it's just so insane. You're prioritizing the wrong things.
No, because she literally said, I need a man to match my energy. Here's all the stuff I have. Like, no, he's just men. Look, this is so funny because men know that women want security and stability from men. Like, and that manifests, or that can be expressed as material goods, and that is generally what it is. Like, it may not be in every case, but in general, it's a safe bet, right? The 6666 thing is real, and men know that, and there's nothing wrong with that. Like, well, he wants. Well, anyway, let's just play more.
A lot of people don't care what you do as a job because that's not what they're looking for in a partner. Like, sure, are there people out there who will see these things you just mentioned as deal breakers? I can't date anyone who only makes that amount of money. Yeah, sure, there will be. But again, this person says she's looking for someone to share their life with, so it's pretty clear they're talking mainly about companionship, personality, and stuff. So even if this guy led with that, it'd still be a bit weird. But I'm saying for these men, no one cares.
Let me finish.
What your job is, and I'm pretty sure.
Bullshit. That's it. I'm not even gonna say anything else. Bullshit. Okay.
Okay.
Women do care what job you have.
I do want to say something. Okay, so he's now just saying that she led with all of this other stuff, and yet all of this other stuff he doesn't believe is attractive. I'm just saying because he said that this man can only be attracted to her looks. Right? Yeah. He can't be like, oh, I love everything you're saying, and I'm also going to give you the world. It's only because she's attractive. Either this guy only thinks that women, the only thing that women bring to the table is attractiveness, or he does not find what that woman has been saying as attractive in and of itself. So if we replaced her with just a blank avatar, what she was saying, he doesn't find that attractive.
Yeah, I understand.
That's what I'm getting at. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So yeah. But the thing is that these guys are responding to something, which is the average woman's desires, which is height and income. Well, also good looks, probably.
Well, they want to feel safe. Yeah. I mean, that's basically like, so.
Especially for a lot of left-wing people. If I went back in the dating world, I really wouldn't care what someone's like job is or income. Like, sure, as you get older, you do have to worry.
Oh my God, dude, you don't understand. Like, of course you don't care. You're a man. Like, men don't care how much women make, but women do care about how much men make. It's just like, we're not the same. Men and women are different. They prioritize different things. They like different things. And don't think I didn't catch when he said left-wing men are basically just better men, because he did say that. Of course he did.
Worry more about financial stuff.
I'll go back a little bit.
You don't worry about what a bougie opinion to not worry about financial stuff.
But I'm saying for these men, no one cares. No one cares what your job is. And I'm pretty sure, especially for a lot of left-wing people, if I went back in the dating world, I really wouldn't care what someone's like job is or income.
See, it says a lot of left. So basically, this is their technique. Okay, they say right-wing people are greedy, materialistic, evil, selfish, etc. Left-wing people are totally not that at all. And it's like a rejection of reality. It's like, no, men and women value different things. It doesn't matter what their politics is, right?
Because no matter what, the black category that he assigns to whoever he thinks is a scapegoat is wrong.
Yeah.
So if conservatives are like, no, men should do the hard jobs so that women have lives of leisure, he's like, no, you just want a maid and a slave.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like you won't even allow that conservatives, or what you're terming conservatives, you won't even allow what they're saying to be true. That they believe that the hard jobs should be done by men.
Yes.
No, conservatives must always be wrong. And also, women don't want men who make money. Bullshit.
Right, like they don't care. Right, like that's some special trait they have.
Oh, sure, as you get older, you do have to worry more about financial stuff, potentially buying a house or rent, or maybe not being in a marriage or relationship with loads of debt and stuff. But I feel like that is thinking really far down the road. Most people in the world
really
just very, very standard jobs they probably don't like that much, jobs that probably don't pay that well. But I think most people realize that is just the reality of living under capitalism. But yeah, you don't have to lead with these things because these aren't desirable.
So I am so bored of this already. I'm done.
Okay,
I'm
wait. I don't get it. Like,
I'm bored.
Capitalism is bad.
Buzzword. Capitalism bad.
Jobs
People
are
live
shit,
under it.
But also, it's even worse for men to do the job while women can stay at home.
Yeah.
Like, and staying at home. They're more like women are staying at home.
Capitalism.
But don't you get what he's saying? He's saying jobs are bad and it's horrible and capitalistic, but it's
women
also
should do
bad.
them.
But women should do them because it's also bad for men to essentially free women from that.
Mm-hmm.
Like, okay, right, all right.
Well,
okay,
because when men work and women don't, men have power over women.
I feel like he's just repeating himself, but also he has not yet.
It's just like. It's the programming. That's all. We're just like this guy has. He's like an NPC in a video game that hasn't been properly play tested. So he's just gonna like say the same shit over and over again. Welcome to Corneria. Capitalism is bad. Men oppress women. That's an incel adjacent talking point.
That's why I think
001101011110.
Okay, that's why I think it's important to understand why he's doing this, what the motivation for it is. And I think the motivation for it is he saw this, he felt disgust towards this woman, and he can't do that because women are supposed to be the ones that everybody else's social desirability is measured on. So he goes and he does this video to go grope through a rational explanation, or rationalize his disgust away from threatening his identity. That's what I'm saying. I'm saying that's his motive. Trying to reestablish his identity as female adjacent. Female adjacent. He's reestablishing his identity as female adjacent. Therefore, he has to purge himself of the evil emotion of finding this woman disgusting by rationalizing it out. But every time he's just revealing himself, like the whole, you can only be attracted to this woman's looks because why? Because everything she's saying is disgusting. Oh, well, recognizing that she's a vulnerable narcissist. That's right wing. Why? Because I've recognized it on a subconscious level that she's a vulnerable narcissist. Therefore, I have to put this uncomfortable feeling on a scapegoat and ritually say, well, that's not me. Feeling's still there, but he's rationalized it away from himself. Get what I'm saying? He's like processed it away from himself. I think that's what's motivating him. You know?
Yeah.
But that's some mind reading, so take it for what it is. I'm just saying, like, at this point, we need to know why these people have to ejaculate these talking points. Why does he have to choose now to do that? See what I'm saying?
Yeah, I understand.
That's interesting to me. Why is he choosing now? Why is he trotting out his religious chant now? Why is he getting the rosaries and he's counting them out? Why is he doing this now? Why does he feel the compulsion to, reaffirm his identity now in the response to this stimulus? Okay. How far are we in?
Sensitive, caring, not someone
about halfway.
Who sees himself as a victim and blames a woman they don't even know for not giving them a chance, then yeah, you might have a bit more success in the dating world. Now, a lot of people were roasting this guy in the comments, but a lot of people were also agreeing with him. But there's another TikTok just like this. So I don't want to play everything in this woman's story, but she just talks about like the struggle of going out, meeting new people, trying to meet a guy, and how it's just been a bit of a disaster. A bit similar to the last one, obviously like very emotional. I'll play you a little bit of it.
Like, I don't want to go out again. I'm tired of it. I'm over it. I'm sick of it. When I try, like, shit like this happens, and dating
what
apps
shit?
suck. And
Who
then
knows?
I get into an Uber on the way home because I can't go have a drink like I wanted to because I have this giant fucking bag full of shit to carry around. And I get in this Uber and it's this 75-year-old woman with her dogs. And she won't stop talking about her dogs and like how she got an oil change and what'd you do tonight? Was the comedy show good? And like I'm being nice and polite, but all I can think about is like this is gonna be me. Like, and I know that's a worst case scenario. And it's not even like that's a terrible thing to be single all your life, but like I just can't help but feel like I'm gonna turn into this because
what happened to the date? Honestly,
she didn't know. We don't know. I mean, I don't know if there was a date. Maybe there was. We don't know. But it's funny that she says, this is going to be me. And then immediately, because, this is women. Oh, not that there's anything wrong with that. It's like, but you clearly think there is something wrong with that. Why don't you just say, that's not what I want? And then just face that reality. Like the first step in solving a problem is acknowledging you have a problem. So instead of trying to like not get the fucking sisterhood mad at you because you dared to make a generalized statement, just say, you know what? I don't want that. I think I'm gonna have to do some introspection and change my behavior. And maybe I'll find somebody. Because like honestly, it's not hard. Dude, there's men everywhere and they're lonely too. You just have to see them.
You just have to value their company. Just learn that.
Yeah.
But I actually feel bad for the older woman who was the Uber driver.
Talking about the cats? Yeah.
No, her dogs. Like,
oh yeah, sorry, dogs.
Yeah, like what the hell, lady? You don't know anything about her. Like, you're so superficial.
Well, that's true, but I mean, again, like if you feel bad for that woman, and that woman probably has nights where she's, you know, alone with her own thoughts. Maybe there should be some, I don't know. Like,
or maybe
I'm sorry, but like I can't stand people just talking about problems and not taking any steps to change their life.
No,
like,
I agree.
Yeah.
But one of those steps might be facing your mortality.
Yeah,
you know,
exactly.
Like, one of those steps might be facing your actual mortality and realizing that we end up alone. You are going to die alone, lady. It's not, there's, you know, that we face a lot of our most trying things alone, you know, and you got to be a person who can live up to that and start living your life. Because honestly, you say, oh, I have this wonderful life to share, but it sounds like you haven't even started living it because you're afraid of the future that it brings to you. Yeah. Like, why would you do not live a life where you look down the road and you're afraid of it? And if you are looking down the road and you're afraid of it, you got to change that. Like you said, Brian, and it doesn't necessarily mean that you, I don't know, get a husband or a partner, but you got to become a person that is okay with what your choices, where your choices are taking you.
Yeah, okay, I mean, like, are you even a whole person yet? Even if you got all of your career shit together, like, who are you though?
Yeah, you've been sold a bullet.
Who's gonna tell me it'll come along when you least expect it? I've been hearing that for like 7 years. Okay, I'm so sick of hearing that. There's such a thing as people that just don't find their person and don't get married. So like, I'm a realist, and the realist in me is starting to think like that's gonna be me. And I'm depressed now over it. As pathetic as that sounds.
So again, that's similar to the last one, and obviously references dating apps more explicitly, which, you know, I'm totally sympathetic to as well, especially as dating apps get more dystopian, talking about like bringing AI into it, and just, you know, how mentally tiring as someone who doesn't know that but can imagine it must be to just keep going on loads of random dates with people you meet online, and then for some reason or another just not vibing with them. As someone myself who has always been so picky with friends and everything, and has a standard that I have before I get close to someone in any capacity, I can totally understand how this would be like an absolute nightmare. Like the thought of just going on all these dates like it's like a job interview to me just gives me anxiety even thinking about it. And yeah, if I was ever single again, I definitely wouldn't bother, to be honest. I'd literally rather be single than deal with that, and it must be terrible.
A job interview.
Well, then, why are we listening to you then? Like, honestly, maybe that's not. Maybe dating apps is not really the only way to meet people. I don't know. Call me crazy, but I don't think that's the only way.
I again, what is motivating this person to continue to do this? I don't know. Like, you know what? I feel like we're just getting repetition now. Where are we in the video? 16 minutes?
Like 2/3 of the way, almost.
Oh, okay. Well, if he repeats himself anymore, I'd say we'll call it. But for now,
all right. I don't think it's gonna get a lot better, frankly. But
no.
Let me see. Did Richard Bier have a comment to go with this video? Didn't he have a comment to go with this video?
No, this was the previous one. I just needed a break from Manifestelle. Yeah.
All right. Let's play some more of this then. A little bit more.
Self-esteem as well. The constant rejection, or the constant just, you know, rejecting people because you're not feeling it. Because I know that would make me feel bad and feel like I've wasted everyone's time. So yeah, very sympathetic to this. And again, shows, contrary to the narrative on Twitter from these men, it's not just men who suffer from this because it's a general isolation problem under capitalism rather than it's just
Oh, I'm done. No more commie bullshit. Stop it. Capitalism did this. Shut the fuck up. How about the destruction of the family? How about our separation from God? How about the fucking Enlightenment? I don't know. How about the fucking Marxist schools that are teaching women to hate men and treat them as opponents in the battlefield? Fuck the right off. I can't take it, Allison. I'm done. This guy doesn't want to solve problems. He just wants to complain about the fucking great life that he has, where he's able to go on the internet on like a power grid in an air-conditioned home, go online, talk instantly with people anywhere in the world, and complain about everything that he has. And blame it on the very system that he depends on.
Yeah, well, I mean, honestly, God. I don't know what capitalism means anymore, but I would honestly say that he can thank men.
Yes, he can. Well, he does. He blames men for capitalism. Like literally the men that keep his life as comfortable as it is, he is attacking because he doesn't realize how good he has it. It's like trying to convince a fish that they live in water. He has no idea how lucky he is. And he is attacking the thing that and that's why, because this is the thing, like patriarchy and capitalism, these are the same. Like that's what, when they attack these things, that's what they are attacking. They are attacking patriarchy. They are attacking capitalism. They are attacking God all at the same time because they hate all of those things and they don't even know why. They were just talked into it. And they're basically just operating on their programming and their emotions.
Okay.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
I don't mind a critique of capitalism, especially what we're dealing with today, which...
Today isn't capitalism.
No, it really isn't.
No, it's not.
It's not a pure meritocracy.
You can critique whatever this economic system we're living under is till the sun like dries up and implodes, but it's not. This is not the system that they're calling capitalism. This is literally a fascist setup. It's corporations and the government together. That's what we're living under, literally. So whatever he's complaining about, he doesn't know what he's talking about. That's all it is. Like I own my shit. That's all capitalism is. That's all it is. It's like we own things. But and it starts with my body. I own my body, right? So like the argument against circumcision is an argument for capitalism by their definition because you own your body. This is where it begins, right? If you have nothing else, you have you. I have my voice. I have my ideas. I have my thoughts. I own those things. So when these people, they don't even think about where this leads, where this comes from. That's why I get so frustrated because it's so useless. It's like you're just bitching about how good you have it because you need to complain about something.
Well, yes, because he's got an emotional urge that he needs to process.
Yeah.
Like I swear that I think that this all comes back to he has a female adjacent identity. And what I mean by that is that women are the social metric by which everything is measured. And he's come to a point where he regards this woman as being deeply socially unattractive to him. In other words, repulsive. And he has to explain it to himself. So he gropes through this whole like rationalization. And then he finally just shoves all of those emotions on capitalism.
I mean, it's identical to, it's like watching someone engaging in Islamic apologia. And they'll be like, I'm going to make a bunch of response videos where I'm going to look at women on TikTok that are sad because they can't find a man. And I'm going to convince you, the audience, that by the time this is over, you're going to convert to Islam because that's the only way we're going to solve this problem. This is what he's doing. He's just doing it for his religion. So it's like, it's the same shit. It's the same shit. You know?
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I guess we could. I mean, I probably could give a bit more of a coherent response if I weren't attempting to do this too.
Yeah.
Plus,
Well, I mean, I think we get it.
This really like, it doesn't really add anything. Like, I was hoping he would be like, oh yeah, well, this is the trait that women want. You know, these are the qualities. So far, 16 minutes in, that was what was promised. He has not delivered. Now maybe he delivers.
No, all he said was that conservative men think that women just want money, and they don't, because women are like me. We like things that are more important than money. That's what he said. Like left-wing people, also women, because they're the same. Unless, of course, you're a right-wing woman, which means you're a slave to men,
or
which means you're not a woman. Yeah, or you're a terrorist. But that's what he's saying. He's like, you know, this is why he's saying, well, you know, if it weren't for capitalism, we just have romance and love and everything. I mean, granted, nobody would get married, because I also hate marriage, because it's like it's a sacrament from God, and I hate that too. So we can't have that. We can't have property.
Ultimately, that was the point. What is here's the thing. He's going through all of this. He's saying, well, women don't want money. They don't want men who are tall and athletic and good looking. They want this other indefinable factor. Well, what is it? Is it just like your religion?
Well, he doesn't dare like actually tell women what they should want.
No, but he's already has. He's told them what they aren't allowed to want. Like, he's already said that women don't want this, and he's like, women don't want, you know, like all of those romance covers with like Fabio, tall, muscular, good looking. Women don't want that. They also don't want money. They don't want, you know, the billionaires that they also write romance novels about. You know, they don't want the things that they pay for. They will actually pay money to get the fantasy of. They don't want that. They want this other undefinable thing, which I know isn't capitalist, but I can't explain what it is. I think it all comes down to they want his dick. That's it. All the women want him. There you go.
That probably does make sense. Yeah.
Slap that on his tombstone. Here lieth the man that all women wanted. Okay, because he had it all together emotionally, because he was anti-capitalist. Ugh. Okay, you're right. This is sort of infuriating. How does this complete lack, like this? How does this become so popular?
It's not organic, Allison.
But no. I mean, there's some aspect to it. I think it's because it's an emotional catharsis.
Well, there is that, but I think that there is like this kind of midwit shit. It gets propped up by the algorithm. Teal Deer was in the chat. He'll tell you it's true. Like, this is all, and this it's like this guy, people like this, and like the you know, Andrew Tate's, who are like this is a really great straw man. We're gonna bump this up to the fucking stratosphere, and so it gets that way. So yeah, I mean, I'm sorry, but like this content that we make, it's too spurgy. Like it just isn't. It just doesn't get the favor of the algorithm because it's too spurgy.
Okay, what happened?
I quit. It's fine. You did quit. What happened?
Yeah. No, I just quit because I'm done.
Oh, okay. Let me just.
You want me to go back or something?
No. I'm just gonna hide that. It's gonna hide the game because it's not there. So, and let me also hide it in here.
I'll be right back, Brian. If you have any final thoughts on yeah, you're right. He was a communist.
Well, I didn't know. I'd never seen the video. I just predicted it.
Essentially, what I'm getting is that women do not like money, guys. They don't like money. Just forget all the romance novels about women seducing billionaires. They also don't like tall men, so forget all the romance novels about women seducing tall billionaires who are muscular and attractive. That's not what women want. What women want is communism.
Well, they don't know it, but they should, right? Yeah.
Yep, they should want communist men. And also, I think that guy found that woman repulsive, and he had to figure out how to get away from that feeling. All right, I'm going to go on the other computer. So you make your.
All right, I got a Super Chow, and then we'll wrap it up because I gotta go see a man about horse. So for Nova Fan, gives us $5 and says communism / also NobaFan has Rumble rants. All right, thank you, Noba. I was gonna look at those. So NobaFan has sent two Rumble rants. So here's a Rumble chan for that, and says for $1, this clown acts like women who are unreasonably picky don't represent the average woman. He ironically is the one who needs to touch grass. And then he says for another $1, I think his motivation is to prove himself a good boy to the average woman by dunking on men with a working brain. Yeah, it's a one good man thing. That's ultimately what it is. All right, thank you for that. And I think that's everything. Let me just make sure that I didn't miss any super chats. Sometimes we get them on the verticals and they don't show up. Okay. No, I think we're clear. All right, Allison, you're back. Do you have any thank yous or just want to wrap it up? Allison? She's not here yet. Or she's muted.
I am here.
Oh, okay.
I just screwed up. Okay, so I do have one thank you. I believe Richard Bier put in the patronage or the sponsorship. So thank you for Richard for the 500.
Thank you,
Hopefully this is
Richard. Very
everything you were
nice.
hoping for. I mean, good lord.
Oh yeah!
Honestly, I think you're right. I think there was an element of disgust. I think on a fundamental level, there he was groping to try to figure out how to process that sense of disgust towards the woman that he had on some level. Because I like the juxtaposition of all the factors. Like, I didn't get to see his face because I was doing synthwave. Maybe I could have confirmed it by looking at his micro expressions. But the fact that he listened to that woman and then his immediate response was to explain why he would never want to date in today's era. Like, I mean, really, right after you watch this woman, you're like, I'm so glad I don't ever have to date.
Yeah.
It's a little bit suspicious there. And then to go on and try to, I don't know, like get upset or not upset, but just be like, oh, this conservative man who says he would give her the world, he's just saying that because of her appearance. Well, you already just like she was describing aspects of her achievement and her personality. So you're saying that wasn't the only thing that was on display was her appearance. We also got to get some of her philosophy and some of her superstitious beliefs, shall we say, and some of her goals and values. So those were also there on display, and yet you immediately go to the only thing attractive about her is her looks. So I think that was a little bit of a slip there by that dude into his true opinion of this woman and her opinions. And then to just land on women shouldn't find the products of capitalism attractive. So they should stop buying romance books about billionaires. And they should just find communist men attractive. Because reasons. Congratulations. Like,
kind of weird, but kind of true.
It's weird. Everything goes down to I am the man that all women should find attractive because of my beliefs.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. We were there. Okay. That's the conclusion that we can come to here. Excellent.
All right.
Yeah, I think every group of men would conclude that, though. If you're part of an ideology.
Yeah.
You would conclude that women should find the group of men that you are part of attractive. But maybe all men are attractive. Huh?
I think they're like any other people. Yeah, but I don't know. I think that maybe relationships are not simply about making yourself happy, but maybe there is a duty behind it. Duty to the species.
Yeah, duty to okay, well, yeah, sure. All right.
I mean, maybe. Could be a factor.
Could be a factor, or at least duty to your civilization. All
right.
Yeah,
that's what I mean. Yeah.
Okay, feedthebadger.com/support, because we are doing our monthly fundraiser right now. I can see how much we have left on the docket. Big big support over the weekend from Anonymous. Thank you, Anonymous, for $100 or $1,000.
Wow, thank you.
Wow.
Okay, so we are about halfway. Let me double check here. I'll take a look. Yep, we're about 48%. So, but we
Nice.
have about a fair amount of time left, which is great because it's good to get this stuff done. It takes a weight off of my mind. I'm pretty sure it takes a weight off of Brian's mind. So it's great. So thank you to everybody who supports early. Very much appreciated. Very helpful for our mental health. And if you do want to help us out, feedthebadger.com/support. And if you want to send us a message at any time after the show, you can do so at feedthebadger.com/justthetip, which I probably should have said at the beginning. Apologies, guys. This is a little bit more of an informal stream. So feedthebadger.com/justthetip to send us a message and send that message through a place or a pathway that doesn't go through YouTube's comment enhancement system. We get the full benefit of the funds. You get the full benefit of not being censored by YouTube. Are we allowed to say that? I don't know. I just did. All right. Back to you, Brian.
All right. Well, if you guys like this video, please smash like, subscribe if you're not already subscribed, hit the bell for notifications, leave me a comment, let us know what you guys think about what we talked about on the show today. There should be a link to the video in the description if you want to watch it yourself. And please, please, please share this video because sharing is caring. Thank you so much for coming on today's episode of Maintaining Frame with a little bit of vaporwave or whatever. And we'll talk to you all in the next one.
Are machines, dude. Okay? They are literal machines. They are talking point machines. They are impossible to fucking deal with, especially if you have like a couple dudes who have good memory on top of that too. Holy shit, you're fucked.